Hi everyone, it's been a fantastic year with HMD Global launching all the devices that they have planned for, and it's the end of 2024 and we've got a wide spectrum of devices by HMD Global that covers all the needs of the people out there. We've got the HMD Barbie, the 3210, the Fusion and the Skyline. So there's one each for everyone. Now, being a holiday season and Christmas just around the corner, you might just get one of these or any of these as a matter of fact, and you can even buy one for yourself because the price is affordable, the build quality is good, and it's definitely a reliable device. So I'm going to start off this recap by going through the Nokia 3210. The reimagined 2024 Nokia 3210 retains all the heritage of the older or the first original Nokia 3210, being compact, being durable, being really good in its build quality, and this is definitely my personal favorite of the year. It looks really beautiful in hand, it's really light, but at the same time it is really durable. I think probably the most important highlight of the newer generations of feature phones built by HMD Global is the introduction of a Type-C charging for the feature phone segment, and this makes life easier because you no longer have to carry a separate cable to charge your feature phone. Now it also comes with the 3.5mm head jack. It not only improves the reception for the radio, it allows you to listen to your music without any distraction. Now it also supports wireless FM solution, means you don't actually need to be connected to your head jack to experience radio, but if you're in a very closed environment, of course the wired option gives you a much better reception. I really like the build quality, really like the color options. Blue is my personal favorite, yellow is the second one here which I have. Does have a camera which is all new and good, and in certain market it comes with the cloud app support, gives you more value for the money that you spend on. So really a fantastic device. The keypad is among the best, really good elevated keypad, really sturdy, really good tactile feedback there, and if you notice it, the screen is somewhat curved, so it gives you somewhat like a 3D kind of experience for the device. Definitely a very good feature phones, not just for you but also for your parents or your loved ones out there. Now, one of the questions that I've been asked is that whether the phone auto locks after a certain period of time. Yes, you can set the screen to turn off at a certain period of time, and that basically locks the phone automatically like it's happening here. So just to unlock, you do this. Now another question I've been asked is whether or not it has a stopwatch or a timer function. Now to know what more your phone has, you just go to the extra section and you'll see the additional functions that are not shown up in the main menu. So you do have world clock, you have timer, you have unit conversion, calculator, calendar, torch, counters and recorders. So no stopwatch but timer is there. Now I've been asked whether or not you could reassign the keypads on the right and left. I'm not really sure what HMD has in plans, but despite running on the same software here, it has a somewhat of a different approach. Now on the 3210, for example, if you go to personalization and you go to keypad, and you notice that you're limited to speed dial alone, but on the HMD Barbie you can actually assign a specific app or a function to be launched with the right key or the left key. So slightly different approach, and I do understand why this has been asked, because you want to set it for your elderly parents so that the experience is smoother for them. Now what I'll suggest is that the first thing to do is to change the layout, make it less cluttered. Go to the settings, go to the system, go to main menu view and choose one by one. Once you've enabled that, you have one large icon that is shown with each click, and you can change the order that is being shown. The other option that you can is to reassign the function for your left button here. So go to the bottommost option here, go to option, and here it allows you to select what is to be shown with the left click. So if you only want one single function or app to be shown, you untick the others and just click on the ones that you want here. So thereby you can even assign contacts to be on the left side, and you have access to calls here directly. And unfortunately the right side is something that is fixed at this point of time. Maybe with certain updates, I'm not quite sure about this, but at this point of time it seems to be fixed. Now another way that you can improve the experience for your elderly loved one is just go to settings, go to personalization, go to keypad, and go to speed dial. And what you can do is that you can assign a specific context for the button 2 till 9 here, thereby makes them easier to call a person with just a single click of a button. So this is the Nokia 3210. It's definitely a must-have for the fans of Nokia. Definitely an interesting device to have if you are looking for a very good, beautiful and durable feature phone with a USB Type-C charging. Now this phone probably doesn't need any further introduction. This is the Nokia 2660, but this is just not a slap on pink theme on it. This is Barbie in and out. Every part of the device has been reimagined to bring you or to immerse you in the Barbie's world. It also has a USB Type-C charging. You've got a 3.5mm head jack, back covers that are changeable. You have a lanyard. You can catch more in my unboxing video. In fact, this is very beautifully made and a lot of adults are also opting to choose this for their choice of feature phone. Definitely a must-have. In and out Barbie. Everything is Barbie themed here. Even the keypads here has this glow in the dark Barbie themed icons which lights up in a dark environment. Very well built. It's a whole package by itself. It's like a gift box and all. Check it out in my review and you'll know what I'm saying. Definitely, I think if you're going to get a gift for your younger kids out there for Christmas, especially the girls, this is a must-have device. Now the Fusion device is probably one that is misunderstood by many because of its hardware, but I would say that this is the best phone that HMD Global has launched this year because the software experience is just straightforward. It's refined. I don't have any issues with it, unlike the Skyline, which I'll address in a bit. Industrial look, one of kind, like functions out there, truly modular. You can add the functionality of the device by the outfits that they call. This is the smart outfit, means it adds a new function to the device. You do have casual outfit. What I really like about this smart outfit is not only is it going to be useful for the vloggers out there or the selfie aficionados out there, but this is definitely a case that you want to have with the Fusion. Without the case, it feels extremely thin, extremely naked, but it's something that is of personal preference. But this adds not just the new function but adds durability. Really sturdy, really hard case right here, and this is definitely a better case to have than the just the bundle in casual outfit. This one adds a really good durability to the device. Now what I really like about the Fusion is that the camera experience is straightforward. Often it matches the output of the HMD Skyline. Recording is limited to 1080p 60 frames per second, which is definitely an upgrade over what the HMD or the Nokia X30 has to offer, which has only stabilized video up to 1080p 30 frames per second, but this gives you an option for stabilized 1080p 60 frames per second. Camera output more or less matches that of the Skyline, a slight variation in the temperature, but I would say that in general does the job well. So really good camera experience, nothing much to complain. Video recording is stable for its asking price. Really brilliant option. The entire operating system is smooth on this device. It does not have any issues that is plaguing the Skyline, which I'll address in a bit. Just be patient on that. Now one thing probably is that there is a delay between the recognized ambient lighting and the response of the device, so thereby giving in somewhat of an illusion that the brightness is lesser than what you want. It's just that I feel that the time for it to respond to the ambient lighting is slightly slower, and I hope that this will be fixed. There's an update that will be coming that will add the detox capability, and with that probably a new camera firmware, and probably just sort out the minor bugs that is affecting certain users with the HMD Fusion. But in general, very well built, really looks beautiful, a lot of functionality with the added outfits. I also reviewed the gaming outfit. Check on my review on that. It does come with a 2 months free Black Nut gaming subscription. That gives you the more value for the controller, but something that I couldn't test at this point of time. Seems to be Europe only at this point. I hope that they do extend it to the general or the global market in the upcoming months. But really well built. For me, the price and the function and what it has to offer is really brilliant. Smooth experience if you want a hassle-free device, the Fusion it is. And get new outfits every now and then you do have a new feel and function with the Fusion here. Now, the Skyline, probably the device that defines HMD Global for this year. It comes in this beautiful Fabula design, comes in 3 different beautiful colors. The pink one is here. I also have the blue one. You can check on my revisited review on the Skyline. It does comes with cool looking accessories that really adds the appeal to the device. I would say really good quality accessories made by HMD here. Really applaud them. Also, there's a rugged case. I made a separate review for that. Now, the Skyline checks all the right boxes out of the box, but truly what it's affecting is how refined the software experience is. Now, with the latest update, which was just released a couple of days ago, it has a major bump in the camera system. Now, what I feel that is still affecting the Skyline is that occasionally the device becomes not responsive to certain tabs. It's not the device per se, but the apps. So you need to shut down the apps and reboot or restart the apps for it to take effect and be responsive. It is still plaguing the HMD Skyline. I feel that the battery life has somewhat improved with the Skyline, but the camera stuttering is still there, unfortunately, which means they are basically throttling the device. So that means theoretically the battery life can be improved further. I'm getting a whole day battery life with moderate usage, which includes 4K video capture and listening to video and browsing, the usuals, but definitely a much improvement compared to my previous experience on the older firmware. Now, whether it has sorted all the camera issues, I will be sharing some samples. You can see it for yourself. It feels like the focusing for the 4X shoot seems to be slightly faster, slightly more better. Color seems to be somewhat slightly more vibrant, probably a tiny scale of it, but in a whole, nothing much has changed with the camera experience, I would say, because there's still some stuttering. Ultra steady video is definitely usable now, but there is a drop in the frame rate. This is definitely not what it's supposed to be like. Ultra steady is supposed to give you a much better stabilized video capture with a better frame rate than what the Skyline has to offer, which makes me wonder whether this is due to throttling effect of the performance. Now, what is good here is that the 1080p 60 frames per second and also the 4K 30 frames per second recording is much more stable than ever, and this is I would say a thing that has been fixed by HMD with the current update. So I do hope that HMD is looking into this review as well. Of course, I do share my findings with them every now and then, but what needs to be fixed is that thermal management of the device has to be optimized. You can't just simply throttle down the performance because that will affect the usability of the device. So you need to come up with a better stability, maybe with Android 15 if it's too late with Android 14. Get a better firmware that allows the apps to use the battery more effectively. Do not throttle the camera performance. Increase the frame rate for the ultra steady so that we do have a meaningful feature that can be used and can be enjoyed, and probably boost the vibrancy a bit and drop the contrast throughout. So what I noticed compared to devices like the more expensive devices like the S24, you can actually check on Twitter. You can see the many of the comparisons that are being shared by my other colleagues there. You can see how they compare it with devices like Vivo, for example, and you'll see that the difference between the output of the Skyline and the Vivo, there aren't much difference, despite the Skyline being somewhat like a 1/3 cheaper than what the Vivo has to offer. And I would say that for its price point, is definitely something that is already very good. Just some minor adjustment, and this can truly compete with the premium segment out there, just like how the Nokia X30 did. So improve the vibrancy, drop the contrast. Let me just show you what I mean by that. So if you were to look into the low light scenarios of the device, and this is one captured by the ultra wide capture, and this uses a combination of both the ultra wide and the primary sensor, and definitely is usable. But you can see that the contrast is somewhat higher, thereby giving it a more dark appearance. Of course, everything seems to be nice, but I would like to have some vibrance on the leaves here, so it does looks a bit more greenish. But these are all personal preference. That's something that definitely can be tuned out with the camera update. As you can see, the leaves here, they are not really showing the green color. That's because of the more higher contrast being used here, thereby making the image darker than it's supposed to be. So better and much more usable 4K and 1080p 60 frames per second capture, but ultra steady is definitely not usable because of the drop in the frame rate. But it doesn't have the artifacts that was there in the previous update, so HMD is definitely doing something with each update, but probably is not enough because 6 months is far too long to wait for them to optimize. So I do hope that HMD focuses more to improve the firmware on the Skyline, so we do have a device that is usable, enjoyable, without much to complain about, because the Skyline is definitely the best looking Android devices out there, and it does have all the fantastic options like having a Qi 2 wireless charging capability. The fast charging works really well. I really enjoy the device, and even the audio output is something that you really have to experience to know the quality. So everything is well built. The software side is lagging and do take more input from end users, especially the camera output, because a lot of us prefer to have more life in the image that we capture. Being too dark, being higher contrast, just like dampen the output of otherwise a brilliantly made device. So this is a quick look into HMD's offering this year. I'll share with you the new video output from HMD Skyline with the new software, so you can judge for yourself. And do check me out on Twitter, where I'll be sharing the comparisons between the old and the new firmware, so you know what I'm saying with better clarity and understanding. So with that said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you in the next year, and I wish you all the best of health.